Hey you guys, I'm Emma and welcome to Yoga to Calm a Busy Mind. This is a really simple, easy practice to bring a little movement into the body but also awareness to the breath. So these two combined are such a powerful tool, especially in those days where you feel your mind fixating on something in the future or maybe ruminating about something in the past. So this practice is all about coming back to the here and now, to the present moment. So for this practice today, we'll be using a block. If you don't have a block at home, you can also use some books stacked on top of each other. If you don't have any books, that's completely fine. You can still come into some of the poses without it. So we're going to be starting off on our backs today. So go ahead and extend through the legs and make your way all the way onto the back. You can take the feet a little wider here, draw the shoulder blades down the back, and find a comfortable positioning of the hands, whether that's by the body or to the belly. Maybe you take hold of the elbows overhead. And just take a few moments to settle in here. Noticing where you're at today, how you show up on the mat. And maybe you've arrived with a really busy mind with this monkey chatter kind of running the show. Let's start by simply checking in with how the body's doing today, how we're feeling physically. So how are your joints, how are your tissues? Maybe a particular place in the body or particular part of the body comes to mind here that might be needing a little love and care or attention throughout this practice. And then start to draw your awareness to the mind here. Noticing how your mental health has been this week, but also the thoughts, the quality, the clarity, the consistency, the volume. Are these thoughts that have more of a critical nature, or are they thoughts that maybe come to us from a place of love? And maybe they're thoughts that are reoccurring from the day before. Maybe they're completely new thoughts. And then start to notice how these thoughts leave you feeling. So do they leave you feeling elevated, or maybe they're thoughts that bring you down a little, that might weigh quite heavy or burden you? And this is okay here. Learn to accept that we have both high and low in us. Here we're not looking to poke or prod at any particular thoughts or feelings. We're looking to hold space for all of them, create space for all of them. So can you notice, draw awareness to without any judgment or expectation here? And then however you show up on the mat today, however you're feeling, whatever you're moving through, set a personal intention for this practice. How would you like to feel after this practice? What are you looking to cultivate, create, manifest throughout this week? Where would you like to focus your energy? And then go ahead and repeat that personal intention 3 times silently. Start to draw your awareness to the breath here. Just notice how it's moving for you today. whether it's fast and shallow or deep and long. Is it more of a rhythmic breath, or is it a little offbeat? And then breath by breath, we're going to start to invite a little more space, so lengthen and deepen, and allow this to be still a natural, organic breath for you, so no forcing or pushing anything. Just with each inhale, allow this to be a little longer, a little deeper. And take your time to do this here, like you have all the time in the world. Maybe you're noticing here that there's a lot of tightness or tension in the chest and the belly. This is okay, and this is actually quite normal. So again, just breath by breath, finding a little more space. And then go ahead and take the hands to the belly. We're going to focus on isolating this breath a little deeper into the belly. So deep belly breaths, Adho Pranayama. For this exercise, we're going to be inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4. So a really simple breath, nothing fancy or complicated here. So let's take a full cycle of breath to begin. Inhale. A full breath out, exhale. Inhale through the nose and the air to the lower belly for 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, and continue counting silently here. Staying with this slow, steady pace of the breath. Here for around 1 more minute. And staying with this count of the breath, what you might find is that the mind starts to wander. This is okay, this is the nature of the mind, but can you gently bring it back to the practice, back to the practice, back to the practice. Time and time again. Last 3 rounds of breath here. And after your third and final round, return the breathing to natural. Again, take a moment to observe the rhythm and flow of the breath, how it might have shifted or changed or slowed or deepened. Maybe notice a shift in the body more than anything. Maybe the shoulders are a little more relaxed. And then let's bring a little movement into the body. Take a wiggle into the hips, into the shoulders, the fingers, the toes, the wrists. Good. And then let's stretch the arms overhead, gently opening the eyes here, really reaching overhead all the way to the tips of the toes. Take a full breath in. Exhale, draw the knees into the chest here. Little rock side to side. Just massaging the sacrum. And then check that you have one hand to each knee. Let's start to draw circles here. So massaging the outer edges of the sacrum. Relax the shoulders, release the jaw. And what you might find is it's a little, or that there's not a lot of mobility here, so it might be a little more of making a square shape than a circle shape. And then come into the opposite direction when you're ready. Good, and let's hug the knees to the chest and really tight here, squeeze them in. And then exhale, go ahead and drop the knees over to the left side. You can take that right arm wide, take that left arm to the knees, and just a really easy, gentle twist here, nothing too deep. And find 3 of those deep, steady breaths. Can you isolate them a little deeper into the belly here? We can just cut here. And then inhale, draw the knees back to center. Exhale, allow them to rock all the way over to the right side. Extend through that left arm. Feel the head grow heavy, shoulders relax. Really drop in here. So your only job in this pose is to relax and find the breath. And your breath might be starting to slow, or it still might be quite shallow here. This is okay. You might find it lengthen and deepen in this pose. You might find it in the next pose. You might find it halfway through. You might find it later throughout the day. Again, allow this to be a natural occurrence, so not forcing it here. Good. Inhale, draw the knees back to center. Take a little rock side to side. And then let's start to rock and roll up and down the spine. You can do this a few times. Good. And then we'll make our way, I almost didn't make it up then, onto all fours. And take the knees quite wide here, reach the hands forwards, and if you do have a block handy, awesome, you can go ahead and set that up now. And we're going to use it under the forehead. If you have your blocks, perfect. Otherwise, just connect your forehead with the mat, so it might look like this, or using your block like this. And just take a few moments to really deepen into the hips here, relax the shoulders down. Again, another softening pose. Let's take a few steady breaths here, noticing how this feels in the body. Exactly where in the body you can feel this. So can you pinpoint which tissues you're stretching into, releasing into? And then wherever your head is, whatever it's resting on, take a full breath in here. Grow this heaviness in the head. Feel it really compress into the block of the earth. And as you exhale, let's start to roll out onto the left side of the forehead. Inhale back to center, exhale all the way to the right. Good, inhale back to center, and just continuing here, taking your time moving with the breath. So a great way to release into the face, a place where we all hold tension but often don't give a lot of love to. And a really beautiful release to help tension headaches here as well. So just continuing back and forth with the breath. For you might be finding some really tender spots or trigger points. Just take it easy if this is you, and be mindful of where tension might show up elsewhere in the body. So you might be rolling over a really tender spot and then start to tighten the shoulders or the jaw. This is quite common. And this is a great indication of where for you hold tension and stress in the body. And then just consciously releasing into that throughout this entire practice. Good. Inhale back to center. Let's lift the head, pop the block off to the side. Reach the hands as far forwards as you can here. Soften the forehead down. And then take a full breath in. As you exhale, let's thread the left arm under the right shoulder. Soften the left ear to the mat here. So stretching into that shoulder. You can take the right hand behind the back, so finding a bind if that feels good. If for whatever reason it's not feeling great, go ahead and just ground it back down. As each inhale, you might start to stack that right shoulder a little deeper over the left. Good, and then inhale back to center, reach both hands forwards, full breath in. Exhale, throw the right under the left, soften the right ear to the mat. And again, just take a few steady breaths. You can thread that left arm behind if it feels good to do so. And then work on stacking that left shoulder on top of the right. Good. Inhale back to center, reach both hands forward, soften the forehead down. Inhale, gently walk the hands back towards the body here. And we're going to find our way into Virasana Hero Pose. So if you have your block handy, go ahead and slide that under the sit bones. Again, not completely necessary. You can use your books for this. You might use just a folded blanket or a pillow as well. And then really ground through the sit bones, soften through the knees, lengthen through the spine. Just take the hands to the thigh bones here. Relax the shoulders down. You can take a little rock forwards and back, side to side. Just notice your body in the space and time. And then we're going to start to release into the neck. So using the nose to draw circles here. And these might be quite small within a really comfortable range of motion for you, or you might start to draw these circles quite large towards all corners of the room. You might hear a few creaks or cracks here, which is generally okay so long as there is no pain. And again, just pay attention to how fluid this movement. Maybe it's these super smooth circles, or maybe there's a little jolting so it becomes more of a hexagon shape. And back the opposite way. I know I'm definitely feeling that a little here. Again, notice any tension in the shoulders. Can you release a little more? Relax the jaw. Good, then inhale back to center. Let's gently open the eyes and start to drop that right ear to the right shoulder. Let's connect the hands behind the back, take them to the right hip. Soften the shoulders, soften the eyes. Feeling this beautiful stretch down the left side body. If it feels okay, you can gently draw the elbows towards each other in space. Broadening into the chest, opening through the collarbones, through the heart. Inhale back to center, exhale opposite side. Take the hands to that left hip, soften the shoulders down, draw the elbows together in space. Inhale back to center. Take a little shimmy into the shoulders, into the hips, a little rock side to side. Let's pop our block off to the side. Set up for your tabletop here. So set your foundation here, spread the fingers really wide, ground down through the base of the index, the base of the thumb. And then instead of just hanging out quite loose in this pose, start to really push the earth away, feel the shoulder blades protract, draw apart. So as if you're supporting someone's weight on the shoulder blades here. Pull the navel to the spine, switch on the belly, the pelvic floor. And then let's find one long line from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. And then holding this foundation, let's come through a few rounds of cat-cow as you inhale. Start to draw the chest forwards, broaden across the collarbones, lift the sit bones to the sky. Find a gentle extension of the spine. Exhale, rounding through the spine here, release the head, push the mat away. And then just coming through a few more rounds at your own breath, your own pace. Inhale. Exhale. And start to work here on really lengthening and deepening the breath again. Maybe you start to explore a little pause at the end of the inhales and the exhales. Good, and let's inhale back to your neutral spine. And then on this one, let's keep that foundation again, extend through the right leg. So your option here to keep these toes quite grounded into the mat if you're after that support today. If you're looking for a little more of a challenge, keeping the belly toned, you can start to float the foot around hip height. If you're feeling like you'd like a little more, you can go ahead and extend through that left arm. And holding here for one full breath in. And then as you exhale, let's take the elbow to the knee. Good, inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. If your hand's grounded, just draw the knee into the chest here. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Good, inhale. Come back down, take a little shimmy into the hips, into the shoulders. And then opposite side, extend through the left foot. If all is well, float the foot. And just be mindful of what happens to the spine when you do float the foot. Do you start to dip and banana back? And if that's you, push up out of the shoulders, pull the belly in. Maybe you extend through the right arm. One full breath in. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale. Exhale. And last breath, inhale. Good, exhale. Inhale, lower back down, take a little rock, a little shimmy. Walk the hands a little further forwards here. Again, spread those fingers as wide as you can. Ground down through the base of the index and base of the thumb. Tuck the toes under here. Push the sit bones back to the heels. And let's take one full breath in. Exhale, push the mat away. Take the sit bones to the sky. Find your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And this might be your first downward facing dog for the day. It might be your first downward dog ever. And take this easy. You might come into it and decide that it is just not a pose for you today. That's all good. You might return to your tabletop pose. If you're in your down dog and you're feeling quite good today, take a few steady breaths here, check in with the alignment. You might walk the dog, you can shake the head. And then start to arrive at a place of stillness. On your next inhale, let's start to walk the hands back towards the feet here. So make your way to the back of the mat. And just allow yourself to fold a little deeper here into Uttanasana. Allowing yourself to really soak up these benefits of an inversion where the heart's above the head. You can release the hands to the mat or take hold of the elbows, but keep a softness in the knees. Relax the crown of the head, feel the shoulders grow heavy. 3 steady breaths. Take a little shake side to side. Again, start to arrive at a place of stillness. On your next inhale, let's slide the palms up the shin bones. Find a half lift here. Focus on length from the belly button to the tip of the tailbone here. So really lengthen that in the lower spine. Exhale, let's soften all the way down. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, half lift, Adho Uttanasana. Exhale, soften back down. Your last breath, inhale. Good, exhale all the way down. And as you exhale, lower the hands to the mat. And this time, sprinkle the fingertips to the center of the mat. And you can use your block here for a little height underneath that right hand if you wish. Inhale, sweep the left hand to the sky. Spread the wings here. Let's just hold for 1 deep breath in. Focus on a long line in the crown of the head. Roll that left shoulder back, right ribs under. Soften the right elbow. Exhale, take the left hand, sprinkle it to the center of the mat. Inhale, right hand sweeps towards the sky. Just opening into the ribs here, into the spine. Good, exhale back down. On your next inhale, let's float to standing. Take your time here, really feel these tissues, the vertebrae connect. And then inhale, sweep the fingertips as high as you can here, find length. Take hold of opposite elbows. Exhale, find a side bend to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Good. Inhale, center. Reach the fingertips high, connect the palms. Exhale, fold all the way down. Good. Let's walk back to our downward facing dog. And And then start to soften the knees towards the mat here. Untuck the toes, find your child's pose again. Take a little rock side to side. Notice how this is feeling in the body. And then let's walk the hands back towards the body. Make your way to the sit bones again. Draw the knees into the chest. Take another little rock side to side, just as we began. And let's come into a deeper twist this time. Inhale, draw that right knee to the chest, release the left leg, and take a few steady breaths here, just hugging that knee in, deep opening into the hip. So inhale, fill way into the lower belly. Exhale, draw that knee a little closer to the heart. Keep the shoulders, the jaw soft. 2 more breaths. Breath. And your last breath here, inhale. Last exhale. Good, inhale, let's squeeze that knee into the chest a little more. As you exhale, take it across the body here. You might shuffle the hips to the right side of the mat, extend through the right arm. The shoulders down, find a comfortable positioning of the neck. Going for a little bit of a longer hold here, so really soften in. Feel the stretch into the outer hip, the shoulders, the chest, the back body, the spine. Good. Inhale, make your way back to center. Shuffle the hips to the middle of the mat. Release that right leg, hug the left knee in. And again, a few deep breaths here. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, hug that knee in tight. Exhale, take it across the body, extend to the left arm. You might shuffle the hips to the left side of the mat. You might feel or hear a few little cracks or creaks in this one. And again, usually okay. Sometimes this can be just nitrogen bubbles in the spine. But again, so long as it's not coupulated with any pain. And you soften into this pose a little more. And is there anywhere that you're holding tension that you can release a little more? And these twists are just such a great way to stretch into the entire body, the hips, the shoulders, the back. If you have only 2 minutes in your day for one pose, my recommendation is a twist. They're also a great way to detox. So allowing this internal abdominal massage of the organs, shifting them, but also replenishing with fresh blood and lymphatic fluid after you come out of the twist. Inhale back to center, draw the knees to the chest. Little rock side to side. A little bit of love for the lower spine. And then let's take one tight squeeze in, really compress and contract, squeeze the forehead to the knees. Good, and then exhale, let's release into Savasana just as we began. You can rest the hands wherever you like for this one. Take the feet out wide, create space between the shoulders and the ears. Feel the soles of the feet soften, the calves, the knees, the thighs. The pelvis grow heavy. Feel every organ in the torso, every rib in the rib cage grow heavy. The shoulders relax, the chest and heart to open. The brain melt into the skull melt into the mat, and the softness to extend to the entire body. Every bone, every joint, every muscle, every tissue, every cell. Feeling it surrender here. And let's find one last full breath in. Allow it to be your deepest breath all day. As you inhale, feel the belly, feel the lungs, feel the chest, feel all the way to the top of the throat until you can't breathe in anymore. And as you exhale, open the mouth side out. Return the breathing to natural. And stay here in this gift of Savasana as long as you like. If you feel the need to stay, please stay. Otherwise, gently bringing yourself back, introducing movement to the fingers, to the toes. Take a wiggle in the hips and the shoulders, turn the head side to side, awaken the body. And then gently start to rock out to your favorite side. Make your way to any comfortable seat to close the practice. Keeping the eyes closed, draw the hands to the heart, Anjali Mudra. Pressing thumbs to sternum, sternum to thumbs. And take a moment to check in just as we did at the beginning. With the body, the mind, the heart. Reflecting on this practice, this movement, the breath. And maybe it's been able to calm the mind a little, to create a shift in the body. And noticing any and all of that here. And let's close this space with a moment of gratitude in the mudra of gratitude. For this beautiful tool of the body and the breath to always come back to, this practice of yoga. And of course ourselves for making time to come to our mat to show up, invest in our well-being, and nourish ourselves. And knowing that when we do, we not only have more to offer ourselves, but also our loved ones and this earth. Drawing the thumbs to third eye center between the eyebrows. Finding one last full breath in. Full breath out. From my heart to yours, namaste.